Newsfirst at 9. Headlines.
A very good evening and welcome to Weekend Primetime News live from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I'm Florin Rajendran and these are your headlines. Female external undergraduate murdered in Varapiti, Mathale. Suspect in the murder of a female undergraduate in Alpiti yesterday interrogated under detention orders. All SAARC leaders confirmed their participation in Narendra Modi's oath-taking ceremony. Minister Bimal Weerarwansa comments on his future political journey.
ඉතාම කනගාටුවෙන් වුණත් අපිට මේ රටට නව දේශපාලන ගමන් මාර්ගයක් නිර්මාණය කිරීම සඳහා පුරුගාමීව කැපවීමේ අභියෝගය අපි බාර ගන්නවා.
War of words on the fishermen's fuel subsidy. Israeli and Palestinian leaders to meet with Pope Francis in Rome. Let's now cross over to the main news desk for these stories and much more.
Well, thank you, Florin, for bringing us the headlines. A very good evening to all our viewers. I'm Arundhati Mudannaika. Let's take a look at the stories in detail now. A second murder of a female university undergraduate within the space of 24 hours was reported from Mathale at dawn today. The young woman was an external undergraduate residing in Varapiti, Mathale. Last morning, a female undergraduate at the University of the Visual Art and Performing Arts was murdered in Alpitia.
23-year-old Lalali Nishani Varapitiya was murdered in Varapitiya, Mathale this evening. Our reporter says that she was the youngest of 4 siblings. The police noted that a function was held at the family residence last evening and that one of the girl's brothers had informed them that while she had gone to bed with her mother last night, she was not to be found this morning.
A function was held last night in this house situated in Varapitiya, Mathale. The family had informed the police when 23-year-old Lalani Nishani was not found in the house this morning.
The police say that her naked body was found in the shrubbery about 150 meters from her home. The judicial medical officer in Mathale, D.L. Vaidyaratna, examined the crime scene this afternoon. The magisterial inquest was carried out by the Mathale acting magistrate Cyril Vimalasena. We had a function yesterday and our youngest daughter was also there. She treated the guests very well. She had also helped her mother who was having a leg pain early this morning. Then she had told her mother to sleep and she had gone to sleep too. Then when the mother had got up in the morning to cook for her son, Lalani had not been there. She came to me and told me that her youngest daughter was missing. Then we went in search of her but we could not find her. Later the police arrived here and found her body in the shrubbery. The police said that while the body had a cut wound on the neck, it also showed signs of having been washed. The police say that her clothing, which was found close to the body, had also been washed.
Police dogs were used in the investigation into the murder of a female undergraduate in Alpitia. Were the clothes of the victim in Varapitiya washed in order to escape detection by police dogs?
Yes, we believe that this was done in order to conceal the evidence, in the hope that the sniffer dogs would not be able to detect the scent of the victim.
Sniffer dogs were used during the investigation of the Alpitia murder case. However, the initial investigation in the Varapitiya murder revealed that the victim's body and the clothes she was wearing were washed. Was this done to conceal the evidence?
We were able to apprehend the suspect related to the Alpitia murder and we were able to find the weapon that was used to commit the crime. So we will be hoping to close this case successfully. However, we need to conduct further investigation with regard to the Mathale incident. We are examining forensic evidence to identify the suspect.
Thank you, SSP Ajit Rohana.
A police officer handling the investigation into the murder of the young woman in Varapitiya Mathale said that bloodstains were found on the girl's body and in the room where she was sleeping. A blanket that she had used last night was found in a nearby stream. The police say that the girl and her mother had retired to their bedroom in the house at about 11 o'clock last night. Adding to the mystery, the police noted that there were no signs of a struggle in the room.
Meanwhile, the body of the undergraduate who was murdered in Alpiti yesterday was brought to her home in Niyagama this morning. While the suspect is in custody, the police say that investigations into the murder are ongoing.
22-year-old K.A. Dimasha Gayaniki was found murdered inside a building adjacent to the Alpiti bus stop at dawn yesterday. Her family, friends and neighbours, still in shock at her sudden demise, arrived at the residence today to pay their final respects. Dimasha had left her home at about 3 a.m. yesterday to go to Colombo, where she teaches a tuition class. However, she had disembarked from the bus at Alpitia. A 24-year-old soldier who was said to be Dimasha's lover is the prime suspect in this murder. The police noted that the suspect who was arrested yesterday was produced before the Alpiti acting magistrate Janakaruwanpura today. The police say the magistrate had granted permission for the suspect to be detained and interrogated for 48 hours. The suspect had informed the police that the knife he had used in the murder was purchased from a shop in Colombo. The police say that a team from the Alpiti police have been deployed to Colombo to follow this lead.
Victor Pereira, former Inspector General of Police, says that if criminals go free after they are arrested owing to the failure to prove that they committed the crime, this would enable a crime trend in the country. And he made this statement while addressing a convocation held at the Sri Jayawardhanapura University today to represent diplomas in criminology.
When we commit a crime or are disruptive, someone arrests us. We are held in remand custody for 2 weeks, and then the man comes out. A trial is held and we are defeated in the trial. What happens then is that we have strengthened a crime trend. When we are unable to convict a criminal and he is released midway through proceedings, then we have assisted in enabling a crime trend.
The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Sri Jayawardhanapura remarked at this occasion on the difficulties faced by police officers when enforcing the law.
We cannot enforce the law 100%. Princess Anne is one of the Queen's daughters. She goes to open a police station and she is a little late. In order to make up time, she speeds on the highway. The police apprehend her then for speeding. They write her a ticket. But when we write tickets, what happens? The ticket that was written for a previous offence will be given to us. You will say you are from Muttur or Jaffna, so they think, what's the point in giving you a ticket? And will ask you to go on. That is why I say when you are labourers, this will happen. If you are professionals, this will not happen.
Diplomas in criminology were presented at this occasion to persons who successfully completed the diploma program. Leader of the Democratic Party group in the Western Provincial Councils, Susil Kindalpitia, was among those presented with diplomas.
The final discussion on the alternative subsidy that has been put forward instead of the fuel subsidy for fishermen is to be held at the Ministry of Finance tomorrow. However, representatives of fishermen's committees of Negombo say that they prefer the fuel subsidy to the alternative program proposed by the government. Representatives of fishermen committees from Kalpitiya to Negombo met at the Joint Fishermen's Committee head office on Beach Road, Kudapaduwa in Negombo. Discussions were held with regard to the kerosene subsidy and the alternative subsidy.
When fuel prices were increased in 2012, we were promised a subsidy, but we were not told how much. The program is still very vague. Let us all get together and get this subsidy, even if we have to stop working for a month.
In 2012, the Department of Fisheries decided to grant a fuel subsidy of 9,375 rupees per month to both multi-day fishing trawlers and small fishing boats. However, due to problems that arose when obtaining this fuel subsidy, the government decided to temporarily halt the subsidy. Accordingly, on the 24th of February this year, the Minister of Fisheries said that an alternative program will be introduced to replace the fishermen's fuel subsidy. The minister made this revelation at the 7th edition of the Newsfirst Government, the program in Kuttaduwa, Nigambo.
The government was facing practical difficulties with continuing this program. Thereby, our ministry proposed an alternate program. Does that mean that the fuel subsidy has been stopped? We must note that it has been stopped at present, but we have introduced an alternate program. The alternative program involves a grant of 375,000 rupees for multi-day trawlers and a lower sum of money for the next class of boats. The government will provide some relief for you to develop your industry. Yes, by the first week or two of March, we will commence distribution under this program in Kalmunai, Batikalo and Trincomalee. Subsequently, we will commence the program in other districts.
The Department of Fisheries says that so far they have received 28,000 applications to obtain equipment instead of the fuel subsidy. Its Director General Nimal Hettiarachchi said that instead of the fuel subsidy, a majority of fishermen requested for fishing nets, boats, GPS systems and life jackets. The department said that in order to purchase this equipment, the department will spend 112,500 rupees, the amount allocated for a fisherman's annual supply of the fuel subsidy. The department has already set aside 4 billion rupees to purchase the alternative equipment.
Close to 98% of legitimate fishermen all over Sri Lanka have expressed their willingness to this and have forwarded applications. They have requested for the equipment they need. It is against this backdrop that a certain group is creating unease. We are ready to launch the program from next week. We got rid of this fuel subsidy after holding discussions with the fishermen's committees. We say we do not want the alternative subsidy. We want the fuel subsidy, which is a problem for us. What's the point in obtaining more equipment when we are facing a situation where we are unable to engage in our trade? I have not forwarded letters to these joint organizations. Please don't be misguided. We are always ready to talk to you. Please take what you want. We will decide who wants this alternative subsidy and who wants a fuel subsidy. The final discussion in this regard will be held at the Ministry of Finance tomorrow with PB Jayasundara. We do not want the alternative subsidy. They are trying to wash their hands of the matter by giving this alternative subsidy. They say this now, but at the end they would say there is no fuel subsidy. They are trying to give us something that we don't want.
Now, fishermen say that the industry is under grave threat from imported fish. They say that they are unable to secure a fair price for their catch owing to the low pricing of imported fish.
According to the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development, about 540,000 people are directly or indirectly engaged in jobs in the fisheries industry. However, owing to the local industry's inability to meet the national demand, fish continue to be imported to the country.
These are from Malaysia and are priced at 220 rupees. Most of the time we are supplied with imported fish.
Fishermen say that the lack of modern technology to increase the size of their catch and the lack of modern systems to ensure longer storage of fish have caused the importation of fish.
Fish are imported from Malaysia and this destroys the fishermen here. Salmon is brought here from Malaysia and sold for 200 rupees, and when that happens, the price of all our fish drops. Immediately stop the importation of fish. At the same time, we ask that modern storage systems be introduced and that we be given the technology to enable us to establish a market.
The domestic pressures exerted by regional politicians in India following invitation extended to President Mahinda Rajapaksa to attend the swearing-in of Indian Prime Minister designate Narendra Modi have not abated. Indian media reports say that neither Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jalal Kachiram nor any representative of hers will attend the oath-taking ceremony tomorrow.
Narendra Modi will take oaths as the new Prime Minister of India at 6 p.m. tomorrow at the stately Presidential Palace or Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. Indian media reports say that 3,500 local and foreign representatives, including the SAARC leaders, will attend the ceremony. Indian security forces have beefed up security in and around Rashtrapati Bhavan and in the capital New Delhi as a whole. Indian media reports say that 10,000 security personnel, including police, will be deployed within a 2-kilometer radius of the Presidential Palace. Meanwhile, the Indian Air Force will be enacting a special aerial security plan in the skies above New Delhi. While anti-aircraft guns have been positioned on tall buildings in the area, snipers too have been strategically positioned in and around the premises. Meanwhile, Indian media reports say that all 8 SAARC leaders have confirmed their attendance at tomorrow's oath-taking ceremony. The New Delhi police will provide a special security detail to the leaders who will gather there tomorrow, including the Sri Lankan President and Pakistani Prime Minister. Several leaders arrived in New Delhi this evening. International media reports indicated that Congress Party President Sonia Gandhi and Vice President Rahul Gandhi, who ran the party's failed re-election campaign, will also attend the ceremony tomorrow.
Meanwhile, the list of India's new cabinet ministers have been submitted to Indian President Pranab Mukherjee. Indian media reports say the small cabinet that has been selected will also be sworn in at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi tomorrow. Also now, 3 men suspected of being members of the LTTE have been arrested in Malaysia. International media reports quoting Khalid Abu Bakr, Malaysia's Inspector General of Police, said the trio, who had been in Malaysia since 2004, were arrested in multiple raids in the central Selangor state on May 15th and were being held under the Immigration Act. Abu Bakr said the 3 men had used Malaysia as a base to collect funds, spread their propaganda and were attempting to revive the defunct terrorist group at the international level. Malaysian police also seized propaganda materials of the Liberation Tigers at Tamil Ilam and some money in various foreign currencies. Malaysia's IGP said in a statement that the suspects were registered with the UN High Commissioner for Refugees and so had been able to remain in Malaysia since 2004 without visas. He said, quote, "We will not allow the country to be used as a place for them to hide for conduct any terror activities in the country or on foreign soil," unquote. The National Freedom Front says that they were able to discuss the proposals they formulated for the betterment of the country with seniors of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Party leader Minister Vimal Weerawansa says that if they do not receive a positive response to these proposals, they will be unwillingly forced to embark on a new political journey.
ඉතාම ඉක්මනින් අප සමග සාකච්ඡාවක් සිදු කරන බව තමයි ජනාධිපතිතුමන් දැනුම් දුන්නේ.
The President too informed us that they would swiftly hold talks with us. At the same time, we clarified our intentions and our premise. We do not want to create a field where forces that are foes of the nation can emerge victorious. We clarified our opinion that if changes that need to be made for the betterment of the country are not made, then we cannot prevent this from happening. We hope that we will receive a satisfactory response from the government. If this does not happen, then we will have to sadly accept the challenge of taking the fore in establishing a new political journey for the country. Take who you can, that does not matter. No matter who is taken away from us, and even if only one person remains, we will create the environment for us to maintain our stance and talk about it. The man who went over to the UNP was assisting Fonseca before that, and we brought him back here convening a media briefing, and then we let him go.
UNPට යවපු මිනිහවත් එයා මේ ෆරත් පොන්සේක මහත්තයාට උදව් කරන්න ගිහිල්ලා අපි ආයෙ අදගෙන ඇවිල්ලා මාධ්‍ය සාකච්ඡාවක් තියලා ඊට පස්සේ අපි අතෑරියා. හැබැයි
But he too was waiting to join the SLFP. As far as I know, it was a senior in the government that asked him to go over to the UNP and told him that once he won, they would take him into the SLFP.
අපි එතකොට ගන්නවා.
වෙන විශේෂ ක්‍රීඩා පුවතක්. එංගලන්තයට එරෙහිව පැවති දෙවැනි එක්දින ක්‍රිකට් තරගයෙන් ශ්‍රී ලංකාව ලකුණු 157ක විශිෂ්ට ජයක් වාර්තා කළා. ලකුණු 257ක ඉලක්කයක් හඹාගේ එංගලන්තයට පන්දුවාර 26යි එක් පන්දුවකදී සියලු දෙනා දැවී රැස් කරගත හැකිුණේ ලකුණු 99ක් පමණයි. එංගලන්තයේ චෙස්ටර්ලි ස්ට්‍රීට්හිදී පැවති මෙම තරගයේ ජයග්‍රහණයත් සමග තරග 1-1 ලෙස තරගාවලිය සම කිරීමටද ශ්‍රී லங்காව සමත් වුණා. ප්‍රශාන්ත්
நன்றி அனோஜ். தற்போது கிடைத்த விளையாட்டுச் செய்தி ஒன்று. இங்கிலாந்து அணிக்கு எதிரான இரண்டாவது கிரிக்கெட் போட்டியில் இலங்கை அணி 158 ஓட்டங்களால் அபார வெற்றி பெற்றுள்ளது. 257 என்ற வெற்றி இலக்கை நோக்கி பதிலளித்தாடிய இங்கிலாந்து அணி 26.1 ஓவர்களில் சகல விக்கெட்டுகளையும் இழந்து 99 ஓட்டங்களை மாத்திரமே பெற்றுக் கொண்டது. இங்கிலாந்தின் செஸ்டர்லர் ஸ்ட்ரீட் மைதானத்தில் நடைபெற்ற இந்த போட்டியில் பெற்றுக்கொண்ட வெற்றியுடன் தொடரை 1-1 என இலங்கை அணி சமப்படுத்தியது.
And in sports, Justin, Sri Lanka recorded a resounding 157-run victory over England at the second ODI of their tour of England a short while ago. Chasing a target of 257 runs for victory, the English were bundled out for 99 runs in 26.1 overs. Sri Lanka's victory at Chesterler Street levels the 5-match ODI series 1-1.
Although appointed by the Cabinet of Ministers on the recommendation of the subject minister, the individual appointed to the position of Commissioner General of Examinations has a duty to ensure the independence of his position. Not only former commissioners who carried out this duty to the letter, but also individuals within the department claim that the department is governed by an unwritten law. This unwritten law is that the officers of the department led by the Commissioner General must at all times protect the secrecy of the department and ensure that public trust in the department and by default the examination system is maintained. However, this code of secrecy should not be considered a boon to cover up administrative failures on the part of the department. The secrets that should be protected thereby are those related to examinations organized and held by the department. This is a document penned by the subject minister with or without the awareness that the Department of Examinations is a department that should be committed to protecting its secrecy. In this preface to a book on economics authored by a school teacher, the subject minister notes that he has issued instructions to the Commissioner General of Examinations on holding the economics examination. He also notes his reasons for issuing such instructions. A publication which should be considered a suffix to this preface was presented to the Commissioner General of Examinations on the 12th of this month, copied to the President and other government seniors by 39 university lecturers who assisted in compiling the advanced level economics examination. While 10 professors have also signed this document, the history of some of these lecturers in compiling economics examinations extends beyond the school history of some people. It is this publication itself that reveals for the first time the level of assistance provided by them. As such, these persons should be recognized not only as individuals who have contributed to the progress of the subject, but also as individuals who have safeguarded examination secrets. Analysis of this document shows that these individuals have presented this document to the Commissioner General of Examinations knowing full well that it violates the Code of Secrecy, citing a serious issue. The serious issue in question is the external influences that affected the compiling of the advanced level economics question paper last year and the compilation of the marking scheme of the examination. The fact that these lecturers did not publish this document when the external influences were being exerted is in itself a serious issue. It is possible that they did not do so in order to adhere to the code of secrecy surrounding examinations. However, what is the message that is being given to the country through the publication of this document which renders this code of secrecy moot? Commissioner General of Examinations, this is over to you.
A program was held yesterday to initiate the project of screening the film Sri Siddhartha Gautama in temples across the island. The MTV, NBC Media Networks and Newsfirst are the sponsors for the event.
The program was initiated at the Kalaniya temple and the movie will be screened in many temples from Kalaniya to Anuradhapura. Many experts in the film industry, together with the director of the movie, Naveen Gunaratna, were present at the screening yesterday.
We are going to Anuradhapura with Sirasa. We will be coming back to Mihintale on the Posun Poya to join everyone, especially the children. We want to show the sacrifices made by Prince Siddhartha, and we hope that the children will be able to build a great personality based on his life.
There
are 6,000 languages worldwide. Therefore, he has decided to use the universal language of cinema to take the Dhamma of Lord Buddha to the world.
Even after watching it 10 to 15 times, it felt like I was watching it for the first time. My eyes were welling with tears.
The main aim is to tell the story of
Prince Siddhartha, the sacrifice of Prince Siddhartha to all the children who are the base of the country.
The film Sri Siddhartha Gautama was screened this evening at the Sri Sunanda Rama Dharmadutta Piriveni in Gampa this evening.
The Tamil language edition of the hit TV quiz show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, telecast on our sister channel Shakti TV, saw another winner yesterday.
The Tamil language version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was launched 3.5 years ago, and the 5th season of the program is currently underway. Many who took part in the show with various intentions went back as winners to fulfill their dreams. Another such winner was born yesterday. This winner is special because he took part in the program to support his student who lost an arm. This individual is Rasaratnam Aravindan, a teacher attached to the Kilinochi Mahavidyalaya. He won 500,000 rupees yesterday. This teacher noted that he will use his winnings for a surgery on the arm of one of his students, Madasami Surendran, in Kilinochi. Surendran, who performed exceptionally well at the advanced level examination last year in the art stream, has been enrolled to university this year. While he lost his arm in an accident, doctors have estimated that the cost to fix an artificial arm will be about 500,000 rupees. His teacher's victory will see the hopes of this student fulfilled.
The Zonta Woman of Achievement Award ceremony was worked off in Colombo this evening. The Zonta Woman of Achievement Award ceremony is the flagship event of the Zonta Club of Colombo, held every biennium since 1985 to recognize and reward women who have achieved outstanding success in their respective fields and contributed towards national development. At the gala event held this evening, Ashanti Sirivardhana, a senior manager of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, won the Zonta Woman of Achievement Award in the management category. Attorney General Palitha Fernando was the chief guest at this event, while Secretary to the Minister of External Affairs, Shenuka Senviratna, was the guest of honour. The African ambassadors and high commissioners, in collaboration with the African Consular Corps in Sri Lanka, comprising of Egypt, South Africa, Libya, Tunisia, Nigeria and Sudan, celebrated Africa Day in Colombo today.
Africa Day is the annual commemoration on May 25th of the 1963 founding of the Organization of African Unity. On this day, leaders of 30 of the 32 independent African states signed a founding charter in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. In 2002, the OAU established its own successor, the African Union. Representatives of foreign missions and politicians were among those who attended the celebratory event in Colombo today.
The Commission of African Union recently granted Sri Lanka accreditation status in the African Union as a non-African state. Sri Lanka is the third South Asian country apart from India and Pakistan to have obtained this status. I am confident that the accreditation status would provide more opportunities for partnership in development and mutually beneficial socio-economic trade cooperation with the African states and give further impetus to our economic relations and closer government-government dialogues.
Well, up next is Sports First investigative journalism segment, The Bitter Truth.
The elections to select office bearers of the Sri Lanka Netball Association for the next 2 years were to be held on the 22nd of March. However, the Netball Association failed to submit a budget report certified by the Auditor General prior to the election. The Court of Appeal, which considered a petition challenging this, issued an order suspending the election. Against this backdrop, the Minister of Sports appointed an interim committee. It is a notable factor that the incumbent president was appointed the president of this 6-member interim committee.
Appointing law list will not serve the progress of netball because they will be unable to do anything worth for netball. This is always based on the decision of a single individual. In truth, what will happen is that the incumbent president will do everything her way.
The president of the interim committee of the Netball Association, Lakshmi Victoria, says that while she expected to contest the election for president of the association, she did not expect to be appointed president of the interim committee. She reiterated that while she will only be involved in netball administration as long as she is president of the Asian Federation, she has no wish to remain in the field in the long term. A statement issued by the Ministry of Sports notes that Lakshmi Victoria has been tasked with the responsibility of employing her experience as president of the Asian Federation to steer the Sri Lanka netball team to victory at the upcoming Asian Championships. However, former Deputy Director of Sports K.S. Piris says that these appointments show an attempt by the Minister of Sports to impose his power on sports associations. In the Bodybuilding Association, the Sri Lanka Badminton Association and now the Netball Association, these persons are using tournaments to retain their positions. Not only that, when an interim committee is appointed, it should be to resolve the crisis in the short term. Independent individuals should be appointed to such committees, not former office bearers. Because of these unwise decisions, anyone can say that there is political interference. The International Olympic Committee too has ordered Sri Lanka to enact a mechanism to ensure sports administration is free of political intervention. Won't returning officials who fail to even hold an election to their positions have a debilitating effect on the law itself?
Well, Katrina Chang joins us now with the weather update. A very good evening and welcome to Weather First, where we bring you the latest details of the forecast for the next 24 hours. Starting off with the northern area, which is the Jaffna area, we can expect sunny weather conditions with your temperatures ranging between 28 to 33 degrees Celsius. However, moving down towards the Patikal area, we can see the highest temperature recorded as 35 degrees Celsius and sunny weather conditions are expected. In the Hambantota, it's partly cloudy and sunny weather conditions with the temperatures between 26 to 32 degrees Celsius. What about the weather conditions in the central province? Now, Kandy area is showers and thunder showers to develop within the 24 hours with their temperatures between 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. Your weather conditions for the Colombo, Galle and Madra, however, are showers and thunder showers for the next 24 hours. Let's now take a look at the weather forecast for the rest of the town and cities across the island. So that's we got this Sunday's edition of Newsfirst Weekend. I'm Arundhati Mudannaika. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great week ahead of you. Good night.
Hotline 0114